Hi, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening to you all over the world. Or greetings like E caro, good day, bonjour, welcome, konnichiwa, good day, wagwan, hello mate. To the ladies, to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls. This is me again, bringing you football context for my video channel that I'm recording. Yes, your host, your guy himself, DLG Reppin. If you're feeding this video, and you want something to, and you've got something to say, if you want to see some improvements to my channel, for example, feel free to comment. Feel free to drive the thumbs up like button, and the big one, the main one, please, pretty please, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, make sure you smash that red subscribe button hard and passionately for me. Thank you. So I've got some footballing context to get through. Everton manager has demanded Richarlison scores a minimum of 20 goals a season, and Dundee have announced that 11 players have agreed to taking a wage cut. So I'm going to go to the BBC Interactive, just bear with me. And I'll start off with the passing of Jack Charlton. I mean, he was a giant to world football. He was a giant of world football. Like he was a giant in himself, and he had a giant personality to English and Irish football. All right, let's go here to the headlines. I mean, the man, he spoke it how it was for me. I remember one game, a World Cup qualifier, Ireland beating Yugoslavia 2-1, and Jack Charlton was quite biased that day, but it's because he cared for the Republic of Ireland international football team, and that's the way he was. He was passionate about the international football team as well as England international football team, because that's how he was. Some would say patriotic, but for me, I would say he was a bubbly character and what a true gentleman. And I'm gonna read a bit here. I'm gonna read this title here, which says Charlton changed Irish football forever. The Football Association of Ireland says former manager Jack Charlton changed Irish football forever. Former Leeds and England defender who had been diagnosed with, bear with me guys, lymphoma, if that's how you pronounce that, who had been diagnosed with lymphoma, died on Friday, aged 85. England said it was devastated by the death of a key member of the 1966 World Cup winning side. Tributes were also paid by former clubs Leeds, Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough. Wow, what a big loss. And not just English football, world football, and outside of world football, as it was said in the news. And it's a massive loss, and my condolences goes out to his friends and his family at such a terrible time. So that was Jack Charlton, who died at the age of 85. Rest in peace, big fella. So I'm going to move on from that and talk about Dundee United situation. And the reports have come out stating that Dundee have announced that 11 players have agreed to take in a wage cut, and that's got to surely have something to do with the pandemic situation, and for the simple fact that fans are not coming they're not going to be at the terraces, and they haven't been at the terraces for 3-4 months, so it's had a huge financial impact on them negatively, and it's been hard for everybody at the club. So I can only imagine what they must be going through, not having any wages to support themselves, their families, to put food and drink on the table for their children. You know, it is tough, real tough. If you're a Dundee United player, I can only imagine the trauma. It is taking on you, and the toll it's taking on yourselves. If you're a Dundee United fan and you want to comment on my channel, please do, and let's have a conversation about this. Yeah, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and that goes for football fans up and down the world, man, woman, youth, and child. Whatever race, whatever religion, whatever culture, etc. Do feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's DOG, meaning me. So we don't know anything. I don't know anything more than what I've read today in the BBC on the BBC Interactive text. So only time will tell on how the situation develops. So moving on, Everton manager Carlo Ancelotti has demanded that his Brazilian attacker should be getting 20 goals a season. That's Richarlison. I mean, he's not far off getting 20 goals a season, or maybe he wants 20 goals in the league. Well, he's that kind of player that can breach defenses on his day. And on his day, he is a handful. You know, I mean, we've seen him in the days of Watford. And he is a real talent. And I like to see him do well in the Premier League, except when he plays against my beloved Arsenal. But that's another story. But he is a problem once he gets going. And I do like the look of him. You know, he's direct, shoots with both feet, he scores with both feet, and his heading ability is superb at times. And for me, one thing with him, he's got to understand that he's playing in a team, and when he gets the opportunity to pass to a player who's in a better position than him, then he must pass, you know, not to be so selfish. We know that he's technically gifted as a player, and yeah, he deserves to be a Brazilian international for me. I think he's in the squad, and he's doing, overall in the Premier League, he's been doing well, you know, hence the reason why Everton paid the money to get him. And I'm not sure about the transfer fee at the time, but Watford fans, if you don't mind asking me, if you don't mind telling me how much was it did you receive from Everton in terms of the cost of Richarlison from you guys to Everton themselves, just drop it in the comment section below, and I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. Not much stories coming in, except for the simple fact is the last time I checked, Liverpool were winning 1-0. Norwich City have been relegated after a crashing, humiliating defeat by West Ham, and it was crippling with a capital C. And Mikel Antonio had a field day. He was just unplayable on the day, and he breached the defence not once, not twice, but 4 times. 4 goals for him. I mean, that is a very good day for him, and obviously he's going to keep the match ball and remember this forever, really, in his footballing career, that he scored the 4 goals that sent Norwich to the Championship. And for me, Norwich, they didn't play with enough pride, enough enthusiasm, players down in tools, some mentally have just given up. And it's been the story of Norwich City's Premier League campaign all year, and they're in the 20th position for a reason, and that's because they're the worst team in the Premier League, and the table will never, ever, ever lie, and that's their reality. I mean, Norwich City fans, if there's one or two out there that care to talk, then yeah, drop it in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. what is your plan for next season, and where do you go from here? I mean, if you do come back, what will be the plan if you come back into the Premier League? Surely there's got to be a 2 or 3 year plan, strategy to become an established Premier League side. That's possibly the reason why you're down there now. And now that you're down there in the Championship, you've got to make the plans realistic for yourselves. You can't just think about coming straight back up, because if you do, you have to have something about you to stay up. You know, Sheffield United, you know, they are going to stay up, and they are going to stay up. They're obviously staying up. They're obviously going to be a Premier League side, and they're competing for a place in Europe next season, albeit the Europa League. That's more realistic for them. And they've done so well. Aston Villa, on the other hand, they could be joining Norwich. Yeah. So Aston Villa fans, are you confident that you can get the maximum points to stay up? If you feel like you're not confident or not, doesn't matter who you are, come, let's have a chat. Leave it in the comment section below, and we'll have a conversation. So I'm going to try and watch the rest of the football, and I'm going to end it here. So to the ladies, to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for putting up with me. This is your host, your guy, DLG Reppin. Once again, peace, love, and bless. I'll be back this evening. Thank you for giving me this time to do this video once again.